Okay, so I'm here at 4 tables of PLO 5. I've been playing around about 15 minutes. I'm just sitting out at these 3 tables. I'm going to click in on those in a minute, and I'm just sitting down here. The reason I've just clicked out, I just want to explain what my HUD stats are very briefly. So we've got names, hands, and tables across the top. And then we've got voluntarily put money in the pot, preflop raise, 3-bet, and aggression factor on the next line. And then the next 2 lines relate to the flop and the turn. Flop c-bet, fold to flop c-bet, donk bet, and check raise. And turn c-bet and fold to turn c-bet. And the final line is kind of like the river stats. So how often they go to showdown, how often they bet the river, how often they fold versus a river bet, and also their steal percentage, which is just something that I tagged onto the end there, just for when I'm on the button and in the blinds. So yeah, I'll click back in on all of those tables. Just while I've been playing, it's worth pointing out that this top left-hand table is the tightest table. I just picked 4 fairly random tables because I didn't really have too many stats on any of the guys who were playing. But if you notice this top left-hand table, my stats are quite loose aggressive, playing 45% of hands, raising 45% of hands. And that's basically because it's a tight table. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, I'm just basically punishing limpers and raising a lot when I'm on the button in position, and just stealing as best as I can, really. The other tables I've got a little bit more action on, but I don't have any reads on any of these guys. I just doubled through on this guy on the bottom right-hand table. When I got it in with a wheel straight against 2 pair, that's pretty much all in on the flop. But yeah, apart from that, there's not been too much action. And just while I remember, I'll turn the sound off, because that can be a little bit annoying if you're watching the video and you've got all these sounds buzzing in your ears. Now this top right hand table as well, that's also a little bit tight. We can't really consider defending with that kind of hand from the small blind. I'm basically a very tight player from the blinds. I just, I play really loose and aggressively in position, and I really kind of fold everything when out of position. You can adjust for that slightly if your intrinsic hand strength is good and there's a lot of players in the pot, but that's, as you may have gathered, is kind of like my rule of thumb. Now the first hand that we've got on this bottom left hand table is pretty interesting. We'll see how the action goes there. Top right hand table, this is just the right kind of hand to steal with from the button. It's not great, but it's good enough, and these players, one's really tight and one is kind of a bit mediocre passive. The bottom right, our hand is good. There's been a limper on the button. We've just got to raise it up and start getting money in the pot, because obviously we can flop good in a lot of different ways there. And yeah, we've pretty much got the nuts here. Bet sizes, I'm not going to bet a hell of a lot on the flop because I don't mind a call. I'm not trying to chase him out of the pot. The turn seems a pretty good card. We're committed at this point anyway. Bottom right hand table, we're just in the big blind and we flopped top pair and an open ender. So we'll see how that goes. Now I've been raised. Now against this guy, he's an absolute maniac by the looks of things. I've got 16 hands, but he's playing pretty loose and fast.